All right, welcome everybody. It is 5:01, so we're gonna get started. My name is Carly. I'm the CEO and founder of Team Root to Rise. So excited to be here with every single one of you and our amazing guest. So Cassie and I co-host these meetings. So if you're on Team Gratefully Fit, welcome. If you're on Team Root to Rise, welcome. We're so happy you guys are here and joining us. Okay, so before we start off the call and let Bree take it away, we're gonna do some recognition. So I'm gonna shout out again, like we always do on these bi-weekly calls, Success Club document, who is changing lives and acting like a coach and coaching people, which is freaking awesome. And then we're also gonna instill something new that I got from Bree. We're gonna shout out the current diamonds and current emeralds that are currently holding this team together, because if you are an emerald or a diamond rank, you literally have a say in like what our team looks like and how successful that we are. So you guys really, really matter. Every single person on this team matters, but I definitely want to shout out these people who are leading from the front. So I'm going to start off with Success Club. So at the top, Success Club 10 or above, Carly, myself with SC34 and 4 new coaches. Leanna, Swords, I'm gonna get it right now, SC14 and 4 new coaches. Megan Lesby, Success Club 10 and 4 new coaches. Gina Funaro, Success Club 10 and 2 new coaches, freaking killing it. Andrea Wadley, Success Club 6 and 3 new coaches. Jordan Bowman, Success Club 6 and 1 new coach. Claire Stager, Success Club 6, her first month as a coach, freaking killing it. Paige Ashley Wombolt, Success Club 6, her first month as a coach, freaking killing it. Amy James at Success Club 4 with 2 new coaches. Noelle Stockstead, Success Club 4. Sierra Martin, Success Club 2. Celia Lindor, aka me, Success Club 6 with 4 new coaches. Kate Visser, Success Club 2 and 1 new coach. Chelsea Horan, Success Club 2, Taylor McElia, I think, Success Club 4 and 2 new coaches. Kayla Marissa, Success Club 2 and 1 new coach. Haley Wirt, Success Club 2. Kelly, Success Club 2. Lexi, Success Club 4. These are out of order. Chrissy, Success Club 2. And Angie Gall, Success Club 4. I was going to stop at Success Club 6, and then I just kept reading this list, so sorry, guys. All right, I'm going to read out the ranks. So current diamond coaches, freaking amazing, way to go, guys. So we have Cassie and myself, 1-star diamond coaches. Celia Lindor, diamond coach. Corey Biltz, diamond coach. So those are Cassie and I's second diamonds. Megan Lesby, diamond coach, freaking killing it. And Leanna Swords, diamond coach. Awesome job, guys. Emeralds, we have so many, holy moly, okay. Haley Wirt, Shauna May, Kylie Tolsma, Rebecca Weaver, Jordan Bowman, Ann Coulter, Gina Funaro, Emily Sullivan, Abby Collins, Andrea Beithman, Jessica Hunter, Noelle Stockstead, Andrea Nicole, Alexander Emery, Sierra Martin, Caitlin Visser, Cassidy Miller, Elisa Klendosti, Michelle Bondor, Ashley Fortune, Haley Goldie, Katie Lindsay, Amy James, Chad Swords, Christine Ramirez, Becca Baker, and Ryan Furton. So that is freaking amazing. So I'm gonna let Cassie, I know you guys are freaking incredible. Like, that's such a long list. I'm gonna let Cassie read off her Success Club leaders, anybody who's on the board, and then I'll introduce our guest.
Yes, hi guys. Okay, I'll make this super quick. Actually, I didn't even pull it up. Okay, so there's me, SC14 with 1 new coach, and then we have a whole bunch of people who are super, super close. We have Ellen Fisher, SC2, Elisa, SC2, Christina, SC4, Brittany Taylor, SC2, Allison Jensen, SC2, Cassie Miller, SC4, Kristen Roan, SC4, Katie Lindsay, SC4 with 1 new coach, and then Michaela Olson, SC2 with 1 new coach, and I believe she just hit Emerald today, actually, so she would be an Emerald on Thursday. Whoop, whoop. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so I have the honor of introducing our freaking amazing guest speaker tonight. So totally have been stalking Bree on Instagram for a very long time. So she's one of Amy Silverman's personally sponsored coaches, which this whole team, Bree, if you don't know, we're pretty obsessed with Amy. So when I posted a picture, I included like her and you together, and everyone like totally freaked out. But I've been totally stalking her. I love her no bullshit attitude. I love the fact that she is just like completely like run with coaching and not half-assed it. But she's also, guys, she's really, really open about her journey and like how it's unfolded, and how she didn't always start as like a super strong, like confident coach, which no one does, right? Because our journey unfolds, and us sharing that journey, becoming, you know, these crazy successful and confident coaches, sharing that journey is like part of the magic. And that's where you really create that relationship with your followers as well. So it's my honor to introduce Bree, just a little bit about her. She's a 2018 Premier Coach. She's a 2-star diamond, but she's currently in 3-star qualifications. She has hit Success Club every single month since she became a coach. She's a 6-figure earner. She's currently ranked number 18 in the entire freaking network. So welcome, Bree. We are so excited to hear from you.
Hey, what is up, everyone? First off, you guys are crushing it. Like, those leaderboards are amazing. So congrats to everyone who is moving their businesses forward. That's really awesome to hear and to see. And like hearing those credentials, I can't talk, those accolades that you just listed off, I'm like, wow, I have a lot to live up to tonight on our call. So don't mind my face. I get really red whenever I talk. Hopefully that's something that goes away with time. But as of right now, my face still turns like a tomato. But anyway, so my name is Bree. What's up? I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me on your call tonight. In tonight's call, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little bit more about my story. Carly wanted me to share kind of my coaching journey and how I turned this into a full-time income, a full-time business, the bumps I hit along the way. And then she told me that you guys are ready to get into action and to work. And so I have a homework assignment for you. So I have been a coach for, it'll be 3 years on the Success Club trip, which is really cool because every time it's my coach anniversary, I always get to celebrate. I say always, last year was my first Success Club trip. So it'll be an always thing after this year. But I get to celebrate on the Success Club trip. So it's really exciting and really cool. That Beachbody does that for us. But anyways, I've been a coach for 3 years. And my first year in the business was hot mess express. So if you're feeling lost and like you don't have your shit together, like there's still hope. So like it ain't over till it's over. And so, there's still hope for you. And I tried to put a PowerPoint together, by the way, for this call, but it was really ugly. And like Carly put together this beautiful presentation for my team call, and I'm like, I'm gonna do one for hers, and it just like didn't work. So I have my notes right here to make sure I hit all of my points for you guys. But anyways, so if you don't have your shit together yet in the business, you guys, there's always time to make a change. There is always a day where you can just draw the line in the sand and, make this the day that you move your business forward and you treat this business like the $1 million business that it can be. So in my first year of coaching, there was really nothing about me, like in my entire first year, where anyone would ever think that I was going to be a successful coach in this business. Definitely not ranked number 18, a 2018 Premier Coach, 3-star qualification. Like, literally, if you look back on my first year in the business, you would never think that any of these things would have come from me. Of course, I hit Success Club every month because that's what we do. I never miss Success Club. But I wasn't really building a team. I wasn't really moving my business forward in that aspect. And if you want to turn this business into something that pays you like a business, it's time you start focusing on the team building aspect, which is something I was really not doing. And every quarter throughout my first year and a half, I would question myself and I would think about quitting. And I think that this is something that a lot of people don't talk about in their business, are like times when they almost quit. Because I can't even tell you how many times I almost quit the business. And I think a lot of times I was just being dramatic and like had a bad day or whatever. But pretty much every quarter in my first year, I messaged my coach and I was like, dude, this is really cool and all. And it's great that you're crushing it. But you know what? It's not for me. I'm gonna go do something else. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life, but it's just not for me. And which is funny, pretty much every quarter, I probably annoyed the crap out of her. And I remember one time though, she messaged me back. This was like the 4th time I told her this. And she was like, I mean, that's fine. If you want to go back to doing what you were doing before, like, that's totally cool. And I was like, did she just tell me that? Like, I would have to go back to doing what I was doing before, AKA job hunting and building a resume and like going to the corporate grind and buying a real bra and like going and like being miserable in a cubicle and like hating my life. But anyways, so, and the funny story too is that when I was pushing for Diamond for the first time, I actually went backwards in rank, right? Like I was pushing for this big goal. I was Emerald Coach, pushing for Diamond. And at the time I had a few coaches on my team. And like, this is like the visual I think of when I was pushing for Diamond. It was like, I'm like have like a sleigh, like we're like going up, you know, a mountain, and it's like me like carrying all of my coaches in my back. I'm like the only one showing up, the only one. And I'm a 5-foot girl trying to like lug like 400 pounds of humans behind me to like make this thing happen. And then the next month I woke up, I went down from an Emerald coach and I woke up a coach rank coach. So anyways, and my only coach on my team at that point was my wonderful boyfriend, who we now work the business together, which is also something I never ever thought would ever happen. But I'll get to that in just a minute. But you know, around my 1 year mark, I was still pretty much at the same spot in my business that I was as a brand new baby coach when I first signed up a year ago. I wasn't really making money. I was just hitting Success Club 5. Not only was I questioning if I could be successful in this business, but the people around me were questioning if I could be successful in this business. And my mom hates when I tell this story because she's like my #1 fan. But I remember one time she was like, you know, Bree, like, have you just thought about applying for corporate jobs, getting into real estate with your brother? Like, what's your plan B? Like, what are you going to do, you know, if this doesn't work out, when this doesn't work out? And it was really in that moment where I had a decision to make, right? Like, I could either, you know, fail like everyone thought I was going to, because the past year in my business, I'm pretty much where I was, you know, as a brand new coach. I made no progress other than hitting Success Club. Was I going to quit and get a full-time job, be miserable, gain back the 15 pounds that I had, you know, when I was working a corporate 9-to-5 job, like literally hate my life and have like no like vision for myself? Or, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with the corporate job if like that's your grind. I'm not bashing that. I like had been there and I had done that. And I was literally the girl sitting in my cubicle, banging my head on my desk. I would stare at the clock all damn day, wishing away 8 hours of my life. And it was really, really sad. And I just knew I couldn't go back to that. And not only that, I was 15 pounds heavier. I was an emotional eater. I would skip my workouts. Like, life was just not that peachy for me in corporate grind. But anyways, so I could either go back to that and live that life, or I could draw the line in the sand and I could say, you know what, I'm going to find a way, I'm going to make a way, and I will be successful in this business no matter what it takes. I'm going to make this happen. And obviously I chose the latter because here we are today. I'm still here. But it was really, you know, that decision to go all in when everything changed for me in my business. And since that decision I made, and it was only 2 years ago, well, almost 2 years ago, of going all in, and yeah, totally, Carly, it was a decision. Like, I drew the line in the sand and I'm like, I'm tired of being mediocre in this business. I'm tired of not reaching the goals that I want to reach. I'm tired of, you know, people questioning me saying, can I be successful? Or like, she hasn't been that successful this past year. Like, you know, I wanted to prove them wrong, but I also wanted to prove to myself that I could do this, because we all can do this, right? It just takes work. It takes consistency, and it takes doing things that you're afraid to do and getting outside of your comfort zone. But since going all in, I kind of just want to like shine some light on how my life has changed since I went all in on this business, because I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what it takes to go all in, right? And so I want to shine some, before I tell you the work, I want to shine some light on how my life has changed. I've been able to avoid the 9-to-5 grind and turn this business into a 6-figure business. Like, you guys, literally my friends who work corporate jobs, which God knows why they haven't joined me yet, because I still invite them to this day. They, you know, they work their corporate jobs. They're unfulfilled. They have a cap with their income and with their earning. And they're, you know, every year they get their Christmas bonus or whatever. And it's like a 2% annual increase. That to me is insulting. Like, when they tell me that, I'm like, I would tell my boss, like, put my middle fingers up and be like, F this. That's insulting. I'd rather just not get that extra like $200 pay increase, because it would insult me. When as a coach, you can give yourself the pay increase of your dreams. Like, our income has just been explosive since I decided to go all in, and no other universe is that possible. Can you ever do that? Like, none of my friends who are 25 years old can say that they have turned their business into a 6-figure business by living their best life and helping others do the same, right? We were also able to retire my boyfriend from his deadbeat job, and now we do this business together full time. So I don't know if you guys know anything about the pool service industry, but my boyfriend used to work for his dad's pool servicing business, where it's like hardcore manual labor. Like, he would like go out and like dig holes and shit and like be really dirty and like work sun up to sundown, 80 hours a day. We never got to see each other. And when he was, off of work, we would hang out, we wouldn't do anything because he just worked a full day in the sun, right? I couldn't blame him, like wanting to just go to bed, and then he'd wake up the next day and he would do it again. And my birthday happens to fall smack dab in the middle of the pool season, where he was working even more hours than he is normally. So we never got to spend my birthday together. So I would pretend like my birthday wasn't important to me, like I didn't care. And then the second we retired him from his job, like last June was the first June that we were able to spend my birthday together. So we like celebrated hardcore and booked an Airbnb for the month in Florida. Like what in what other universe other than coaching can you do that? And now, right now we're planning a move across country, like in 8 weeks, less than 8 weeks. I think it's like 40 days now. We're moving to Florida. And so I kind of just want to share with you guys how much my life has changed and like the possibility, like, because like my whole first year, this was something like I never envisioned like happening for me. And it was really just in that decision, that moment of decision where I decided I was going to find a way, I was going to make a way, that everything started to shift. Obviously I worked my butt off, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that. But you guys, honestly, actually, that's my next point. So let me dive into that. So I want to tell you guys about sacrifices that I have made to get to where I am in my business, right? Because, well, actually, before I get into that, I really want to stress the importance of not comparing yourself, by the way, because, you're on your own journey. Each coach is on their own journey. And I think a lot of times we can get caught up in what other people are doing, and we use that, we like get jealous versus seeing that as like a light, like leading the way. I know there's this one coach who's a coach on our team, and I used to get so jealous because we signed up at the same time, right? And she was like, she like hit 15-star and like did all these things, and like I was still in my first year, like coach rank for the first year. And I used to get really jealous. But now I like view that as, oh my God, thank you for leading the way and showing me what I can do in my business, because you have led the way for me and shown me what's possible. And so you need to find your driver, right? Like, and this is going to evolve as you evolve in your business, but you need to know what you're working for in order to get to where you're wanting to go. And like my why, my driver when I was a new coach was not like one day Mike and I are going to move across country and we're going to move to Florida and never have to deal with winter again, and the gloominess that comes with being a Midwesterner. In the beginning, it was, I wanted to avoid the 9-to-5 grind, right? How can I make this happen? Avoiding the 9-to-5 grind. Once I did that, I was like, hey, what's my next driver? My next driver is my boyfriend's job sucks. He's overworked. He's underpaid. He gets taken advantage of working a family business. How can I get him out of that job? That was my next driver. Now it's cool. We've done those things. Now I want to freaking move and not have to deal with the gloominess and never see the sun living in the Midwest. And I'm going to move to Florida. And then of course it's going to evolve and change from there. But, it's just, setting those goals for yourself and then, being so driven by your why and your vision to make it happen. And so some of the sacrifices that I've made over the past couple of years in my business are, well, a couple of things. So when I graduated college, I moved home post-grad so I could be able to afford to do this. Not a lot of people are willing to do that, but I was willing to do what it takes to avoid the 9-to-5 grind, that I moved home post-grad so that I could turn this business into a business. Date nights for my boyfriend and I, it was me working and him cooking me dinner and like helping me like do laundry because I would like forget to do all that shit because I was too busy working my business, right? I gave up TV. I gave up like going out with my friends to work my business. Like, all a sacrifice is, it's a down payment on the life of your dreams, on the future of your dreams. So I'm totally cool with giving up these things now because I know that, giving up these little things, even now in January, it was my boyfriend's birthday. We had our 6-year anniversary, which I feel way too young to be like, I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years. We worked on his birthday. We worked on our 6-year anniversary. We worked. Now that doesn't mean we didn't celebrate. We didn't have fun, but we're so focused on our goals and our visions for our life. And we know that, giving up these little things now, like Netflix, like you guys, literally who needs Netflix? Like things like, going out to the bars, things like that. Like, of course, each their own. But to me, I'm okay with giving them up now because I know that that's going to be able to give me the life of my dreams from making those sacrifices. And so that's a little bit more about me and my journey and kind of how I've, the sacrifices that I have made to get to where I am in my business. And I want to share with you guys 3 really, really simple tips that have allowed me to take this business to the next level. And they're really simple things, but hopefully I can say them in a way that resonates with you and allows you to get into action. Hold on, I need some water really quick. So the first thing, and I know you've heard this before, is treating this business like a business, right? So if you want this business to treat you like a business, you better give it the respect that it deserves, that this is a business. I mean, setting business hours, not relying on your upline coach, treating this business like the business that it can be, like 7-figure business that it can be. Like, you guys, literally, there are people in other countries who would kill to have this opportunity, and we're not available there yet. And people who have this in the US and Canada and the UK, they let it sit in their lap. And I'm like, my homies in Australia would literally die to have this opportunity, and they don't right now, and you're letting this just sit here? Like, I don't understand it. Treat this business like the business that you want it to be. And if you want it to be a part-time thing or a thing for fun, like, that's totally cool, but don't have the expectations that, in treating this thing like a part-time thing, or like just doing it when it's convenient, is going to, turn into a 6-figure business in, a year or 2 years. Of course it will, with time and consistency. Oh my God. Like, people who I've heard so many crazy stories, and I've watched videos on the Champions page of coaches who have just built this business part-time or like for fun, that with time and consistency, like, they're like, oh, I have a 6-figure business sitting in my lap, and I've just been doing it for fun the past 5 years. So the compound effect is real. But going along with treating this like a business is not relying on your upline, right? Like, of course, you guys have a really awesome upline coach. Like, she's the bomb. But we need to take personal responsibility for our businesses. We need to take personal responsibility for the outcomes that we want in our business, right? Like, we can't rely on our upline coach to be checking in on us to make sure, hey, are you doing your vital behaviors? Hey, are you posting on social media? Hey, are you actually being proof the product works and moving forward and making progress in your journey? This also means, running your own challenge groups and taking ownership of your clients, helping them see success, and running your own sneak peeks, or pairing up with other coaches and co-hosting one, because that was a huge game changer for me. It was the very first time I ran my own sneak peek. I went from recruiting 0 to 1 coach a month to recruiting 8 coaches in my very first sneak peek. I literally almost hit the floor when that happened. I was like, oh my God, why did I not get on video sooner? Obviously, because I felt uncomfortable. I was afraid, and I'm really horrible on video. I was even worse when I was new. But people, they're interested in joining your team because of you. And so, it's important to take ownership of your business and get on camera and talk to the people and, co-host a sneak peek webinar or whatever. But that's the first tip, is treating this business like a business. My second tip is bringing the confidence and energy. And, hear me out for a second, because if you're a new coach, you're like, I have no confidence in, what I'm doing yet, because I don't know what I'm doing yet. But for others to believe in you, you first need to believe in you, right? Like, no one's going to get, and I love this analogy, no one is going to get into a car with a driver who doesn't know where they're going, right? Like, who has a GPS and they're not using it. Like, if you want to get to California, you're going to type California in your GPS to get you there. It's not like you're going to get in your car and be like, I'm hoping that this is the way to California. Like, you have GPS. Like, you need to have your vision of where you want to go, and you need to have confidence in yourself and what you have to offer. And in the beginning, it's going to be faking it till you make it, right? Like, it's going to be like, you're showing up and you're trying to have that confidence. But with time, and, as you have more wins in your business, that confidence is going to become real. And, but it's never going to start. You're never going to start building that confidence if you just don't, start today and start kind of faking it till you make it, right? The second thing is bringing the energy, right? Like, if I get on a team call and the person hosting the team call is like a snooze fest, like they have no energy, they're just like sitting here and they're like really quiet, and they're not bringing the energy and the excitement, like, that's going to put me to sleep. Like, if I get on a call and I'm in a sneak peek and the coach is like putting me to sleep, like, I don't want to join that team. I want to join the team of the girl who has confidence, even, in the beginning, we have to fake it till we make it, but also has energy. You guys, people come into my sneak peeks, and it's so funny because sometimes they don't even understand the concept of coaching, but they're like, I don't really know what it is that you do, but you're really happy you have a lot of energy and I want to feel like that. So like, where do I sign my life away? And then they sign up, right? Like, so it's not always about like giving everyone all of the facts, all of the information. It's about having excitement. And, you know, I think passion speaks loud, like having the excitement. Where do I sign my life away? People, you know, people want to see that you are excited about what it is that you're doing, right? Like if you're like, get on a call and you're like, coaching changed my life, but you have no excitement behind that, like no one's going to believe that, right? So having the confidence and the energy is really going to help, you know, your prospects believe in what you have to offer. But it all starts with believing in ourselves, right? And something that really helped me with this was creating affirmations. And I know it sounds like super corny, and I don't know if you guys are into affirmations, but I freaking love them because it's all about breaking the pattern, right? So maybe if a day where I'm like really scared, or sorry, I live by an airport, there's a plane going by. Maybe there's a day where you're really scared, or you're not feeling yourself, or you're really down on yourself. I think affirmations are huge in breaking that pattern of like self-doubt to having your go-to affirmation where you're like, I am the shit. I can do this. I am capable of amazing things, right? Like just really simple ones can really help you as well. And then my third tip is organization. And we use this hashtag on our team. Hashtag organization is sexy, because, you know, it's the unsexy things about building a business that builds a business, right? And no one talks about organization. No one talks about that shit, right? Why? Because it's not fun, and like it's not the most exciting thing to talk about. But if you're serious about building this business, you need to get organized. You need to have some sort of system, some sort of organization going on, because if you don't, like, your whole business is just never going to grow, right? And I mean, there are a few like success stories out there of people who lack organization, and like that's so far and few between. When people tell me that they're not organized, what that says to me is they're not serious, they're not making money, and they're not helping people, right? And because like one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone's like, I hit Success Club last month and I have no idea how because I'm so unorganized. And it's a coach who's been a coach for like 2 years and like they still don't have organization. I'm like, oh my God, are you not serious? And so what I mean like with organization really is just tracking who you're talking to, right? Because, you know, if you know any entrepreneurs out there, they have some sort of system. Like if you go shopping at a store, and they're like, do you want our email? Do you want to give me your email for coupons? Guess what? You go in their tracking system. Now you get their newsletters. Now they email you about promotions. Now you are in their tracking system. And that's how they get you to buy things eventually, right? Because it's not the first time people buy things. It's with time and consistency and repetition, AKA Google Streak. Yes, streak is freaking life. And the fortune really is in the follow-up, right? Like when you talk to someone the first time, they may or may not sign up. If they do sign up, they're like the miracle child, and like they're like your golden egg. You're like, you're awesome. Thank you for signing up without giving me any objections and like making me follow up with you 100 times. But most people, it's going to take some time to follow up with them before they sign up. And if you are not tracking who you're talking to, you're not going to have anyone to follow up with. Like I hit Success Club 100 in January because I was following up like a crazy person. I was sending out 500 follow-ups a day, which actually I'll give you. That's my next tip right here. A little insight into what I have been doing to get the results that I have been getting. So of course, obviously social media, posting every single day. I mean, you know, your upline coach is like social media queen. So I know you guys have really amazing social media trainings there, but consistency is so key, right? Like social media is so your invites make sense, because if you're not posting on social media and you're inviting someone, the first thing this person's going to do, if it's, you know, you're inviting a stranger or, you know, a friend you don't know yet, they're going to go stalk your social media. And if you're not posting, the invite's not going to make sense, and they're going to think that you're lying about running a challenge group or being a coach or any of these things. Like, they're going to be really confused, and they're probably not going to respond. Because think about it for a second. Like, when your coach messaged you, before you even responded to her, you went to her social media and you stalked her back to like 2015 to see what her whole life was like before she messaged you. So that's the first thing. And then inviting and following up like a boss. So in January, I was sending out, I mean, I'm still doing a lot of this. I'm just trying to keep up with what I have coming in from all of these follow-ups, because when you do follow-up, it's like in an invite, it's not always planting the seed for that month. It's planting the seed for the next month and the next month and your business a year from now and 2 years from now, because all of the invites and all the follow-ups that I've been sending out are like coming back to me at a rate that I'm trying so hard to keep up with, just because I've been doing my job at an extreme level in the past 2 months, that right now I'm like, oh my God, I have so many people coming back to me from all these follow-ups, all these invites, because in January, I was sending out 500 mail mergers a day. And if you're on Streak, you know, mail merger is basically just a mass follow-up where it goes to every single person's inbox, like it was a direct email to them, AKA it's like the most amazing thing ever. There's a Streak tutorial on YouTube for Google Streak by Josh Spencer, which is how I learned to use Google Streak. And if you're not using Streak, I highly, highly recommend it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what system that you use. All that matters is that you have a system in place to track your contacts and to follow up with your people. Because like I said, if you don't have a list, and you don't have a business. And then along with, you know, my inviting and my following up, I'm also sending out a newsletter monthly. That's not something you have to do, but if you have under, I think, like 2,000 emails, you can set up a free account on MailChimp, which is really cool because you can send out free newsletters. And then I work a lot. So I work like 8 to 10 hours a day. It's fun, right? Like it doesn't feel like work, but I work a lot. And then I also run 2 sneak peeks per month. And that's like a little insight into, you know, the hustle that I'm putting in to get the results that I'm getting right now in my business. And I have 2 action items for you guys. For when you get off this call, we'll open up to Q&A, right, Carly? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how long your guys' calls are, but I have a few action items for you. The first action item is taking on what we call the 100 challenge. And the 100 challenge is sending out 100 follow-ups and 100 invites within the span of a day. I like to do it within the span of one sitting, but it really depends like what your current life is like. If you work full-time, have kids, blah, blah, you know the deal. And so what this challenge is designed to do to show you that you're probably not doing as much as you could be doing to get the results that you desire, right? Because most of us, we're sending out 3 invites a day, maybe 5. If you're a go-getter, you're sending out 10. And so I want to challenge you to take on the 100 challenge. So it's 100 follow-ups plus 100 invites. Because guess what? You could do this challenge in like 30 minutes. You could do it in like an hour. It'll take you really as long as you think it's going to take you. If you're like, it's going to take me 7 hours, then you're going to be here till freaking midnight doing it. But if you say it's going to get done in 30 minutes, it's really just copy and paste, right? Like it's not that crazy. But you're going to show yourself that you're capable of talking to more people, getting outside your comfort zone, and creating these conversations, because this challenge, it's not just going to build your business for this month, but it's going to build it for the months to come down the road. And so I really want to encourage you to show yourself what's possible in your business, and to show yourself that, you know, 200 people in one day is really not that much. It's not that crazy. I have a girl on my team. I just hopped off a call with her. She's like, I'm doing 3 100 challenges this week. Like in our team, it's just like so nonchalant. It's like, oh, just going to do 5 100 challenges, or like I'm going to do a 100 challenge every day of the week. And so like, it's just something that you have to like kind of just get into action. And when I do them, like I said, it takes me like 30 minutes because copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. But think about how much your business would explode even if you did this 1 day a week, right? If you talk to 200 people, so 100 invites, 100 follow-ups, you did that once a week. That's, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 8? That's my math. 2, 4, 6, 8, 100 people in the month? Like, what would your business look like 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, right? Which is pretty insane to think about, like all the lives that you could change from taking on this simple challenge once a week at least. And then my second homework assignment for you guys is Instagram stories, which I'm sure that you're all posting on consistently. But this was a total game changer for me. And I don't know why it took me so long to get on the Instagram story game. I think I was like really afraid because like back in the day, like before the algorithm changed, Instagram, well, I mean, Instagram now is still like photos and like being pretty, like not being pretty, but like having, you know, pretty photos and things like that, that I was afraid to like document like my real life on Instagram stories. And now I'm just like all day like talking to my phone. But it's so relatable, and it really allows people to see who you are as a human, not just in like your polished Instagram photos or like your thought out captions. It lets them see like a glance into what is a day in the life like of you. And it's interesting. And like, it's like reality TV, right? Like we all watch reality, maybe we don't, but I know I used to be a huge fan of reality TV, like the Kardashians, like back in the day before they got really annoying, or like Real World back in the day. Like we want to see other humans living their normal life. Like that's interesting. Like watching the Kardashians go to Walmart is interesting because they're doing a normal person thing. like Instagram stories, like think of yourself as like the 2.0 version of a Kardashian, like sharing your life story like in the day. And I know that like, especially when I'm on coach events, like when I was at New Leader Conference last month, I was literally like a newscaster the entire event. And I'm like if someone who follows me on Instagram probably felt like they were at the event with me. I was interviewing people. I was talking about my day. I was like posting like pictures all day and like Instagram videos and things like that. And I do it when I'm home too, like just sharing like a day in the life, right? People want to know what it is that you're up to. It gives them it also gives you a really natural way to invite people when you're just talking to them. Because if you post a call to action on your Instagram every day, it may not come across the same as you talking on your Instagram story saying, hey, I have a challenge group. Have you joined yet? What are you doing with your life if you haven't joined me yet? You know, like talking about your coaching sneak peek, things like that. But those are my 2 homework assignments for you guys. You know, the best tip that I can give you is that building this business, recruiting, it really is a mindset. And you have to know that you have this gift to offer people, right? Like you can literally help someone transform their entire life. Like not even just the physical fitness, like their mental fitness, their finances, their relationship with the people in their life. Like you can help them change their life on every single level possible. And that is a huge duty. So you keeping this to yourself is seriously so selfish. Like you being afraid to invite, you being afraid to post on social media, you being afraid to talk to other people is like the most selfish thing that you can do as a coach, because just think about how much your life has changed since you became a coach. Whether you've been a coach for 6 months, a year, or like literally 2 hours, welcome to the team if you just signed up. Like your life has changed. You now have this community of amazing people. You're now drinking superfoods. You now have workouts literally on demand that you can pull up from your freaking phone, like no excuses. Like, so you need to share about that and be proud of what you have to offer. And just know that like you can change someone's life. Like that is so motivating and so exciting to get out there and talk to all the people, because you can literally help someone transform every aspect of their life. Now I just sound like a broken record, but it really is your duty as a coach, and it's really selfish of you if you keep it to yourself and you don't like shout it from the rooftops so you can help people. But that's what I have for you guys. That's a little bit more about me and my homework assignments for you. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast and that you can understand me.
Awesome. And I love how like 3 years later, like you're just as fired up now as you were when you probably signed up. Like I feel like I wake up every morning and I'm like just as excited that morning as I was like, you know, day one. I'm just, yeah. Okay, so you guys can open it up to questions. If you asked a question earlier, just make sure you post it down below now so she can read them. And then, okay, Kate wants to know, how do you track combos? How do you track combos from Instagram?
So I only start tracking conversations once I have an email. And if someone's not willing to give me an email, then that kind of tells me they're not that serious. Maybe I'll get them the second time around, but I still follow up with them on Instagram. But for my own sanity, because I also think it's important to stay sane, I don't track like everyone I DM until they give me an email.
I do the exact same thing. Let's see. What's one thing you do on Insta stories that gets the most engagement from Jessica?
So I've recently been doing a lot of polls, which has been super, super fun, because that's like so easy to get people to invite, because you're like, hey, like I post a picture of me and my team and I'm like, have you ever thought about, I don't know why I keep grabbing my phone. Like, hey, like, have you ever thought about joining us? And then I don't give them an option to say no, by the way. So like, I never give people who follow me an option to be mean or to not give me the answer that I want them to give me. So my answers would be yes or maybe. Then I invite everyone who voted. And I forget the question now, but now I'm talking about Instagram polls, which have been a really fun way to invite people. And it's super simple. And then like it's up for 24 hours. So like you can literally invite hella people. I also do like a lot of times when I'm working out, like I'll do a video clip, like 2 video clips, maybe 3 if it's like crazy day. And then I'll tell people, put your email here to get fit with me, or I'll be like, need a coach, message me, or something like that. Or if you have 10,000 followers, you can do the swipe up feature and like link your form for people to apply to join you. Or like when I'm on a call, I'll like do a little like boomerang of it and be like, want to join our team? Like the other day I went to one of my coach's wedding and my call to action was literally like, join. It was a picture of us like all in our wedding gear. You can tell I don't get dressed up often. I just called my dress gear. Anyways, I'm like, join our team. We're fun. And I had people responding to my DM asking me like how to get started, or people messaging like, I'm ready. And that was like just like a little jab, a little call to action.
Everything can be an invite, realistically.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrea wants to know, do you use the 100 challenge from hashtags?
So I normally invite people who follow me or who like my posts. That's where I start. But if you're not getting 100 likes on Instagram, then move to Facebook. So like say you have like 25 likes on Instagram, that's 25 invites right there. And then you have 25 more likes on Facebook, boom, that's 50 invites. And then I would go to people who follow you and invite them. Because it's not weird, right? Like these people are following you for a reason. They're either interested in what you do as a coach and they want to join your team, but they're like on the fence about it. They're interested in joining your fitness challenge, or they like watching your journey, or they want to be your friend and they follow you. So like inviting them, it's just like, hey, thanks for the follow. Are you ready to get started? Join my team. # join my team.
Awesome. That answered so many of the questions that were on here. Can you give us an example of what your invite and follow-up sounds like?
Yeah, they're just super simple. Like my invites, when people vote on my poll, I'm like, hey girl, I saw you voted that you want to become a coach. What's your email? I'll send you more info. I always take everyone to email. So like I don't word vomit on them. I really do think less is more, and I get everyone in a sneak peek, or like send them like a recording of like me talking about coaching. And like they ask questions. I'm like, girl, we'll talk about this in our sneak peek. Like, girl, don't even worry. We're going to touch on that. I just get everyone in the sneak peek. I really do feel that there's power in community. So I know for me, I was really scared to reach out to my coach because I'm like, I'm the only person reaching out to this random stranger on social media to join this thing that I don't know anything about. And I felt like really weird about it. And then I joined the Facebook group and I'm like, oh, there are other weirdos reaching out to this random stranger on social media wanting to join this thing that we know nothing about. And so it was really cool to see that there were other people interested. And so I always get everyone to email, then I invite them to a sneak peek. Personally, it's what I found works best for me. And I also recruit people the way that I wanted to be recruited into the business, like something that I would have enjoyed. Like I'm not just gonna, invite people to, I don't know, do something boring. Like if I had like a 1 hour webinar and like I would fall asleep during it, I'm not gonna send that to someone to watch, right? Like I'm gonna recruit someone a way that would engage me. And that's like a Facebook group or like a really short 20-minute webinar with me and a couple girls on my team sharing more about coaching. So I always think of it like that too, is like, would I respond well to this? Because, you are probably talking to people like you who follow you.
Awesome. Anybody else? Okay, I have a question. So how did you start, or you're good on time, right? You have a call?
Oh, I'm good. Mike likes to sit in on calls. So I had a call before this and I had a call after this, and he likes to sit in on them. It's my boyfriend, by the way, which by the way, we never in a million years, I never thought that he'd be working with me full time, right? Like it's not something I ever thought would ever be a thing. It just kind of happened organically. Like first, I never thought he'd be healthy with me. And now we're like all in with 80-day obsession. Like he hasn't had pizza in like 80 days, almost 80 days, which is like unheard of because we used to get deep dish every single Friday because we live in Chicago. And so it's one of those things like just leading by example and me leading a healthy lifestyle that like he got on board. And because I used to like try and make him, and like that he ran the other way. And like same thing with coaching. Like we would just kind of talk about it and he became slowly interested. And then when he quit his job in the pool service, he was actually going to get into real estate with my brother. And then he's like, wait, I'm actually really interested in what you do. Like, how can I help? And so it was kind of like an evolution. It took like 2 years for him to be interested. But I mean, he was always supportive, but like interested in working it.
Yeah, leading by example is so key. Leading by example. They'll end up following eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so Haley wants to know, can you tell us a little bit more about how you run your challenge groups? I told them about how you run like one a month instead of like a start and a finish date, because I do like a start and a finish date for my challenge group, but I know you do it a totally different way. So can you talk a little bit about your challenge groups?
Yeah, so I just have one group and it's an ongoing group. And like on my social media, I'll pick start dates just to like market about. And I'll be like, I have 10 spots. But of course, if more than 10 people want to join me, then like 12,000 people who follow me want to join me, like they're all invited. But I just run it as like a open door group. So everyone are coming in different start dates. We're all doing different programs, but we're all just supporting each other along the way. So like sometimes I'll do fun, like right now we have a fun like 14-day social media challenge. And so I created like 14 days worth of posts that go up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, because you can pre-schedule posts now on Facebook, which is really cool. And they'll go up at like 6 in the morning. And day one was like sweaty selfie and introduction, and like day 2 was like a plank challenge, and like everyone posted their times for plank, and day 3 is like, what are you wearing to work out today? And we were all like slobs that day, all like looking like a hot mess. And so we just like, I just create fun ways to keep it fresh, because when I get bored in my challenge group, I know that everyone is probably bored, and so I'll just create like fun things. I know like one day I like posted the night before, and I'm like, tomorrow we have a fun challenge, like be sure that you're the first person to see the post. And the next day at like 6 a.m. I posted, it was like a donkey kick challenge. I actually got this idea from Christina Battaglia, who's going to be hosting the National Wake Up Call tomorrow. And like, if you had a comment when you saw the post, then like after work or during your lunch break, you had to do the number of donkey kicks that you were the comment. So if you were the 15th person to see the post, you had to do 15 donkey kicks, and like the 30th person had to do 30, and like you're pretty much screwed if you're the last person. Then you had to post a sweaty selfie to confirm that you did it. But anyways, that's pretty much how I run my sneak peeks. It's just one ongoing group that never ends. There are like a couple hundred people in there, but it's great because, you know, the old people come in, or the new people come in and excite people who maybe have been around for a while and have fallen off the wagon, and it gets everyone re-engaged. Like when there's a new program launch, I have all of my people just in one group. So I'm like, hey, 80-day obsession, get this bundled to start a program with us on this date. And so I really enjoyed that way doing it. But I used to run like monthly groups, but I just found this works best for me and like my sanity. Because like I said, it's all about staying sane and doing things that work best for you.
And I love how you said, like, when the challenge group is boring for you, it's definitely boring for them. Like, always just finding a new way to reignite the fire. What does your boyfriend do to help you with your business? Like, what's his role?
Yeah, he does a lot of like the behind the scenes things. So like he really helps with like recognition, like all of our Success Club numbers, and he does all of the graphics, which is so nice. It's really just about finding like what you're good at and what, you know, the person who wants to work the business is good at, and then kind of finding ways to like make it fun for each other. Because in the beginning I like was like, here, these are things that I don't want to do that maybe you could do, and I had to give him like a to-do list, and like it just doesn't work when you like are like treat him like an assistant, because then he's like, wait, this activity sucks, like we should outsource this to someone else. So I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I think it's just really, you know, figuring out what you guys like doing and then kind of divvying it up.
Nice. Leanna wants to know, when you start emailing people, do you always send a video first, or do you send them to a group first? Is there like a go-to like process that you do when you start emailing people?
So for challenge groups or coaching?
For the challenge group, do you ever, wait, Leanna, is it for a challenge group or for a sneak peek? I think she meant challenge group. She was talking, oh yeah, for the challenge group.
Yeah, I actually created like a 5-minute video where I talked about my story, and like it was like record timing, like 45 seconds I shared my story, and then the other 4 minutes I just shared what it means to be in a challenge group and how much it costs. Because what I found was sometimes I would like get to know someone's goals, and then, or like, of course I get their goals first because they fill out the form. But then I would like email back and forth, and they found out the price, and they were like, they would ghost me, which like still happens. And like, that's why following up is so important. But I give the price in the first email, because second email, they're either tell me they're in, or they give me a money objection, versus like waiting 5 emails to get to that not right now or the objection. So I recently did that like last month, and I really enjoyed it. Because it just gets right to the point. I'm like, do you want to spend $160 and do this with me? It'll change your life. It's going to be amazing. You're going to get awesome results. Or they give me a money objection, and then I help them see through their excuses. Because let's be real, most people have $160, right? They're just spending it elsewhere. They're blacking out at Target, and they're buying things they don't need. They're going and they're spending $4 a day at Starbucks. Like, oh my God, are you kidding? Like, you can rack up such a crazy bill at Starbucks every single day. Yeah, and $160 really isn't that much to spend on your health and fitness when it's like your life and becoming a better human.
I do the exact same thing. I always share that with them a video, and then they get to know you better, you know,
yeah.
Relationship with you. And yeah, the video is so nice. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's anything else. Blacking out at Target. I totally do that.
We're all guilty of that. Target's dangerous.
So dangerous. And then Leanna said, what about coaching? The same process, like for a sneak peek?
No, so for the sneak peek, I have the form, so they fill out the form, and then I send them the direct link to my Facebook group. So they join the Facebook group and see that there are other humans also interested in this, and then I have like my start date for the group, but I don't send a video in that one.
Awesome. Anybody else have questions? Thank you so much for spending your time with us.
Yeah.
I'm confused about these videos that you're speaking of. Do you send them via Insta? So Andrea, mine, I have a video that's like 8 minutes and it's uploaded onto YouTube and it talks about, my story and then what a challenge pack includes. And I end with the price. I think Bree, yours is pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just send it via YouTube. So I just have a YouTube video that's uploaded. Okay, everyone's just saying thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You guys have any other questions? I'd be happy to answer more.
Yeah, anybody have any more questions? Literally a 2018 Premier Coach, making 6 figures.
I have a question.
Yes.
At least I think do. Well, because I know Carly and I, we obviously we're going to do this. Well, she already does it full time, but I work full time still. So at what point in your business did you start to see enough income that you were like, this is a full-time thing? And you, like, what rank, I guess?
I don't know that it's necessarily about rank as it is volume, because there are coaches out there who are 6-star diamond coaches and they make less money than me because I have more volume than they have. So I think it's really just about recruiting like a boss and then helping your coaches help people as well. I was a really slow build, a really slow growth in my business. So it took me a while to start building that income. And I just opened my second CVC actually last month, like the beginning of last month or the end of January. And since then, like my income has like skyrocketed. So I would really say get to 2-star, open your second CVC, pump the weekly volume, and then like that's going to be a huge game changer.
Literally what Carly and I are doing.
We're so close.
We're just trucking along. Okay.
And I didn't believe people when they're like, get to 2-star, pump your week leg, you'll have this crazy growth. I'm like, whatever. And then I did it, and I'm telling people, I'm like, get to 2-star, pump your weak leg, and like it's one of those things like I never believed it till it happened, and it's for real. So, but of course, Team Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of success. Each coach's income is based on their own hard work, diligence, and skill.
Emphasis on the hard work. Leanna wants to know if you still run free. Do you run free groups?
So, I mean, I guess I consider my sneak peek a free group, but that's probably not what you're asking. I don't like create a free group. If someone wants to join with like a free trial, I don't really like create a separate group for that. I'll just add up into my challenge group. Because it's like, for me, like it takes more energy to create a separate group of people who are going to be doing a free trial versus like, I'm just going to give you it all and you're going to fall in love and I'm going to help you and you're going to want to stay forever.
And it's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's literally nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do free groups based on like our interests or like creating relationships, especially if you have maybe like a smaller Instagram following and you don't have people like filling out your forms every month or like, wanting to learn more about coaching. We do free groups to like kind of talk about things that like we're interested in. Like if you're a hairstylist, do like a hair group or like a yoga group or like something like that. Do you encourage your coaches to do anything like that?
I think that's an awesome idea. It's not something that we really do, but I feel like that would be really beneficial in creating relationships. I know I heard about that. I think it was Jen Richardson was talking about it on her National Wake Up Call. Maybe it was her. Someone was. And it was a really great idea. I definitely think that would be awesome in building relationships.
Yeah, it's just a fine line between that and just like doing the 100 challenge and reaching out to people and actually getting people to challenge,
I'd rather spend my time inviting to like join. And by the way, like, it's not like, when you hit a certain rank or following or something that people just start like flocking to you like craziness. Like I still invite my ass off, by the way. So it's not like every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, I have 10 new people who filled out my form. It's like, oh, I invited 100 people yesterday and I followed up with 500 people last week. So my inbox is exploding now because I did the work last week.
Clearing that up. Love it. How long do you leave people in your challenge group once you add them in, or are they there for life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never take anyone out. I know some coaches take people out, like if they stop Shakeology or things like that. That would be more work for me to figure out, like, did you stop your home direct? I'd rather them just be inspired by other people drinking their Shakeology or doing a new workout program, and then stay.
Cool. If you have one challenge group, how do you keep people engaged or not just tune out of the group? Well, I guess you kind of already talked about that. You just kind of let them like see the other people succeed.
I also do like sometimes I'll do like a search warrant and I'll like find a funny meme of like a missing in action, and then I'll tag like all of my new challengers like who haven't posted sweaty selfies in a while, and I'm like, are you alive? Like tag someone who inspires you and tell them that you miss their sweaty face. And like it gets people re-engaged. So like, thanks for calling me out. I've totally been slacking and I haven't shown my face in here in a week because I haven't been doing shit. So it's good to call them out.
I love that. And that's so cool to hear too, because I do my challenge group the complete opposite way of that. But I think it's so encouraging to say, okay, she can be successful doing it that way. I can be successful doing it that way. Like there's no one way to succeed as a coach, guys. Like you have to find whatever works for you and run with it. Like you're the CEO of your business. You get to decide how much money you want to make. You get to decide what rank you're going to be. It is 100% up to you, which is awesome. Like it's so free. Do you post every day in your ongoing group? In your challenge group?
Yeah, I usually just post like a challenger. I'm like sweaty selfie, what I'm eating. I'll go live sometimes if I have something like to say, like something I learned, something I struggled with. I pretty much just show up and just share like what everyone else is sharing. Like, you know, when I don't want to work out and I do it anyways, I share. When I really want ice cream and I need like some people to like throw some love on me so like I don't eat ice cream, I share that. Like, you know, so it's really just like they're holding me accountable as much as I'm holding them accountable.
Okay, I have one last question. So when you started your team and like your team page, I know there's a really hard point where you're like, you want to start that team, but there's only like 3 coaches on your team. Like for me, it was like my mom, my sister, and my aunt. Like how did you like start that momentum like in your team page, like creating like that atmosphere in your own team page, like outside of like your upline's team page?
So I started with group chats. I didn't start my team page until I had like, I don't know when I started it. I think it was really just when like my coaches started getting lost in my coaches team page where I was like, I want to talk to everyone, but I can't talk to everyone in the bigger group because there's so many people. So that's when I broke off and created my own page. But for a long time, I mean, it's like when you start a challenge group, right? Like it's literally just me posting and then I would text my friends and like I would text my mom and be like, Mom, it's your day to post a sweaty selfie in our challenge group, or like my best friend from college, like post a picture of your workout today or like whatever. But I think that just recruiting is the name of the game. And that's always my answer. Recruit.
New blood.
To bring
Yeah,
people
fresh
in.
faces.
Yeah, because that excites people who have been around for a while.
Love it. Okay, anybody else? Any more questions? All right, thank you so much.